The one thing when I was watching this game that came to my mind is where are we on, and it's happening for me, it's happening a little bit more than I usually see, but just stepping on a stick. Where are we on stepping on a stick?
Yeah.
And whether or not my blade of my stick deserves to be there. If it's there before your skate blade, why am I getting a
Who just
tripping
did
call?
that? That was the Leafs game on the weekend, right?
Carlson. Holmberg stepped on Carlson's stick.
Yeah.
A lot. Do we now have to stop play, have the officials go to the video and see when a guy is tripped or when he steps on a
I
stick?
think the idea is you can't just have your stick in someone's feet if you're at risk of
Why
tripping
can't I
them.
have it if it's there first? Why can't I have it there?
I just think you have to keep your stick out of someone's feet. Otherwise, you risk tripping them and you risk the call.
Okay.
You can't, Kipper. There's no way you want to insert more gray area
No, I'm
into
just-
the NHL
no,
rules.
No.
If your stick
But
is
like
under a
that
skate, and the guy
particular one
falls
was
down.
ridiculous.
But too
where
bad.
It was like,
Too bad.
Well,
The guy's shooting it over the glass. It's ridiculous too. He didn't mean to do it. You still go to the box. You'd slash it like.
But to Kip's point, if you want to dive, that's a nice one.
It's
Just step on a blade out there.
That's
Woo.
all it takes,
Yeah.
right? If I know there's a stick down there and I'm in the vicinity, I can paint that picture pretty good for you, Sammy.
Oh yeah.
Do you
And
ever
I was
dive?
really good at it too.
You dove a little bit.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah. I wouldn't dive, but I just knew I could
exaggerate.
sense.
Embellish.
I
is
can
the word.
sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can embellish
Yeah.
really good.
That's fine.
You feel the one hand on your shoulder, pull a little
If someone's
tug.
got their hand off their stick.
I'm gonna spin.
Like Bunting was doing the whole night against the Leafs.
Bunting is over the top though,
Brutal. It's brutal.
and
I would say like soccer itself, where they like embrace the idea that if you can get a call, it's worth a lot. It's not worth as much in hockey, so it's not worth diving as much.
I think it's like I'm a huge soccer fan. I watch EPL every weekend. A big TFC guy.
Oh, it's embarrassment.
But like even me, who's a big fan, I'm like, oh, jeez.
Oh, I
Like
know.
it's an embarrassment.
Yes.
And Bunting's a soccer player out there. He's flopping around. It's embarrassing.
the other thing too is more cameras, more
That's true too.
HD, more
We
crystal
know who's
clear.
flopping about.
Who's snapping the head back when the stick doesn't come and make contact?
Holmberg did a pretty good one on Saturday night.
I'd be really nervous because
You don't get
it's
that.
really a hot temperature on players that fake being hit or
You want
hurt.
your refs to know.
And that's you can't get over that. Once it's out there, then it's hard to get back any sense of credibility.
Connor Zary scored the other night, and Pospisil took a stick in the chops and went down like he was shot in an old western, like a twist, and it was elaborate.
Yeah.
I really loved it.
So that's where I would have been today.
Yeah.
Going, okay, is this worth it? Is it really? I'm going to take a 2-minute penalty, but am I going to pretend my head snapped back when it really didn't?
We gotta make sure we have time for the trade.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at. I was trying to look up who drew the most penalties, but then it came up who's taken the most penalties this year. Nikita Zadorov has taken 23 penalties this year.
Minors.
Minors.
Yeah.
23
Kadri's
penalties.
typically been a league leader or around that.
All right, the Colorado Avalanche traded for a goaltender, Mackenzie Blackwood. Pretty good goalie.
Yeah,
Okay.
he can be for sure.
And he's
a high
not an old
pedigree
guy. He's still coming into his own. He goes to Colorado in exchange for Georgiev and draft picks and a prospect.
Second, yeah. Two fun things. The Avs now have Miles Wood, Wedgwood, and Blackwood. So
It's a lot of wood.
Colorado Forest. Other fun fact: Colorado traded Andrei Kovalenko for a number one goalie in 1995
Oh, yeah.
in December, and they traded his son Nikita Kovalenko 29 years later in the same month.
That's amazing.
This
Yeah.
doesn't cost.
Also for maybe Patrick Waugh.
It was Patrick.
But
not-
this one's not.
it's not a big financial commitment. If I'm not mistaken, Mackenzie Blackwood is UFA after this,
UFA
Season.
after this, yeah.
which means, hey, Mackenzie, come here and lead us to the promised land, and we'll have a nice little 5x5 contract waiting for you.
But 28 years old, you get to go be the guy. Well, him and Wedgwood can share it or whatever, but for the Colorado Avalanche,
No,
a
no,
very good team.
it's Blackwood.
Blackwood's team.
It's Blackwood's team.
You know, I like to make the joke about driving people to the airport. I bet you McKinnon or Antonin were like,
Gorgiev.
hop on in, Gorgiev. We'll take you. Like,
Sorry
no
to hear
problem.
the news. Don't
We're
miss your flight.
so sorry. Come on, hop into the car. We'll take you.
I'm surprised he lasted this long.
It's crazy he did.
But I give the Avs a ton of credit for saying it's only 29 games in or whatever it is, and they got rid of both their goalies from the start of the season.
But it was last year too.
Yeah.
It was
struggled
last
a bit
year,
there too.
Oh yeah.
But
They've had 5 goaltenders play this year, and Annunen and Gorgiev were the 2 guys that played the most game. 18 for Gorgiev, 11 for Annunen. Gorgiev's goals against is 338, and his save percentage is 874, and Annunen is 323, 872. How did they win games?
I know the bottom 5 teams in the league in goals against are like Flyers, Canadiens, Sharks, Penguins, and then right in the middle, they're third worst. Colorado Avalanche have given up 103 goals this season, which, like I said, only 2 teams given up more goals in the whole league.
So Calgary had a bit of a meltdown against Dallas last night, and now the Avs are back in.
Yeah, what's their
the
record
wild
right
card
now?
spot.
What's the Avs record?
They're 16-13.
16-13.
For 32 points. Calgary sits at 31 with a game in hand.
Like, they just get some saves. They've gotten the Nichushkin back. They've got new goaltenders, which, God, if they can, and they got a shutout last night from Wedgwood, right?
Yep.
All of a sudden or night before, whenever it was. So this could be the start of the Avs kind of getting back into the team we thought it was. I saw some people saying,
Wedgwood's he's played 3 games for them, and he's a 9.51 save percentage and a 1. You're the goalie now.
Yeah.
You are the guy.
Yeah,
and we're trading for another guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I saw people say steep price to pay. It's a second rounder or something. But I know, not a steep price to pay. You have a team that's trying to contend.
You have 2 of the top 5 players in the world on your team.
Yeah.
Trade a second for a good goalie.
Blackwood's, as we said, 2080. You look at guys who have been massive value around the NHL, and it's Anthony Stolarz. He was 29. They took a chance on him here in Toronto. Lankinen. Kevin Lankinen, Vancouver. Took a chance on him. This is what Blackwood is, a guy who was a second rounder, played for the World Junior Canadian team, had some tough years, but some good years too. If he's hot, this really changes what the Avs are. So I love this for them.
9-10 in 19 games played with that crappy Sharks team. So
yeah, really good.
You guys want to bookend? Because I don't think we had enough time to dissect. We had Gary Galley waiting for us on Ann Lauer's soft tampering claim.
Yes, I think that soft tampering is a legitimate phrase because there are varying degrees of tampering.
So stupid. It's tampering. If their word is tampering involved, it's tampering.
Okay, but no.
Yeah.
So
What are you talking-
Larry Brooks gets information, I assume from a Ranger source,
Nobody
that they've got
believes
interest in Kachuk. He
I
reports
bet
it.
they do.
Yeah, it's
Where
we have
is
interest in
the
McDavid.
tampering? Where is the tampering?
This
Well,
is what
This
drives
is
me
you.
crazy about it.
This is you again, kind of jumping to conclusions. I'm sorry.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I always jump to conclusions. That's
Where's
my
the
whole thing.
tampering?
Well, the owner of the Avalanche said it, not me. It's like the first time one of their players ends up in
Senators,
it.
yeah.
Oh, what did I say? Avalanche? We're talking about Avalanche. The owner of the Senators says, "Oh, they mentioned my guy in a trade rumor. It's the NHL. The guys get mentioned in trade rumors all the time.
Yes.
But I think
So
the
it's not
idea
tamp. Like, give me a break.
does that
Oh,
start the
you're- yeah,
conversation
okay.
or start his thought process to where
Too
it's
bad.
Brady's like, wait, they're interested in me? I'm like, agent to look into that. Are they interested? Is it?
It's just a very insecure move to me from the owner of the
I think
Senators.
it's a protective move, not a sincere one.
I think it's also tied into the fact that he's still pissed off that he gave up a draft pick for a trade that had nothing to do with him
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
prior
Oh yeah.
with
Still mad about Dodonov,
Pierre
Sauer.
Dadonov, whatever his name is.
Dorian.
Yep.
Right? So that's coming into play.
Great
yeah, you're
point.
trying to rebuild and
So
you get
this
cost of
might be a
first
little
for sure.
bit of him trying to protect it. He's trying to protect Kachuk and his family. I get all of that. That's fine. But, it's also
So does
How much
it's
does
also
Matthew-
a Kachuk. It's also Matthew.
Yeah.
Moving like that family should be well versed and very experienced when it comes to rumors and
I mean, where's Larry
and talk.
Tenenbaum coming out and saying every time that they're going to talk about trading Marner or Nylander? Like, was that tampering? That's name's been out there 100 times? Like, this is so stupid to me. It's like it's professional sports.
I like the idea that he's
Okay,
standing up for his
yeah.
guys and saying,
But this, I got to tell you, this
firing
sticks
some
out as
warning
like
shots.
it sticks out as new owner syndrome to me so badly. Where it's like, yeah, that's pro sports. Names end up in things all the time. That's just the way things go. Like I don't know why this is tampering. I mean, there's something behind the scenes that he knows.
I think
But-
that's possible.
I just think it's hilarious that he's going out there and saying this. Anyways, maybe I'm wrong, but
you're
it feels
also
weird.
you're also watching the Ottawa Senators and people feeling like they've got to do something too. So they're going to pick their names,
Well,
right? They're going to
that's what
pick.
this is.
That's all. It's almost like a perfect storm. The inconsistency of the Ottawa Senators.
You know they want to make
young
a big
guys
change.
making a lot of money.
And who are we kidding? You don't think there's been rumors out there before this that Kachuk's not going to finish his contract there? Like,
That's out there.
That's
It's been
always
out
been
there
out
for
there.
a while that he's sick and tired of losing.
Yeah.
And
his brother demanded a trade out of Canada to the
That's
States.
part of it,
Like,
But you know what it is to me is that people are looking at Ottawa and saying, you know, they're struggling. We know they want to make a change. How can we pick the carcass? And maybe that's the Rangers are doing. But Brady's not the answer. Brady to me is like, if they start having success and they're winning, he'll be in a Canadian market where there's tons of energy and action and he'll be happy. You know, how do you turn this into a winning team?
God, imagine him on the Rangers, though. What a star he'd be there.
I don't know. Well, I mean, sure. Imagine McDavid.
the two cities that have rumors about chemistry issues in the dressing room, though, are Ottawa and Vancouver.
Yeah. I hadn't heard Vancouver.
Probably should have done this before
Well, I guess-
5:53, but
What's that?
probably should have done this before 5:53.
I think people out west probably have heard it.
Yeah.
Well, I know,
already.
I know that like Miller and PD say they're not best friends, and that's
Yeah.
I guess fairly well known.
Yeah.
but-
And we'll see how this plays out in Ottawa.
Yeah.
I think Brady at times has shown a level of immaturity through his career in Ottawa. He's starting to
For sure.
settle in a little more and more.
Yeah.
So
For me, it's like they have drafted this core, and can this core take them to the promised land? And you look at guys who were supposed to be part of it that have kind of let them down. Like Shane Pinto's got a goal and 2 assists in 19 games this year. Was he not supposed to be a part of?
Also, got to ask, watching that Caps team on Friday, they couldn't use Jacob Chikrin? Jesus.
Ottawa dead last in goals by
He was
defensive.
buzzing.
Dead last.
I think he's got more goals than the whole blue line.
I think the Sens have 4 goals from their D.
He's
They
got
one
8.
from Sanderson.
He's got
one-
twice
one
as
from-
many.
Hammering it every chance he
Jensen.
gets. Got into it with Matthews. He's a good player, man. Whoopsies.
Anyway,
Anyways,
Sorry, Sens.
our thanks to Gary Galley at the top of the hour and Sheldon Keefe in our Leaf Edition hour. What's our game tonight on Amazon?
Ducks
Montreal.
in Montreal.
And
The Toronto Maple Leafs may be taking a new approach to salary management, which could directly impact Mitch Marner's contract negotiations. During Kyle Dubas' tenure as general manager, the team didn't hesitate to spend heavily, and this trend began with a 6-year extension signed by Marner in 2019. At the time, Marner's $10.9 million annual cap hit set the market for superstar wingers, surpassing comparable players like Mikko Rantanen of the Colorado Avalanche, who signed a 6-year deal with a $9.25 million annual cap hit. Now, however, times seem to be changing. TSN's Pierre Lebrun recently reported that the Maple Leafs have implemented an internal salary cap, aiming to ensure no player earns more than captain Austin Matthews, who signed a 4-year extension worth $13.25 million per season in August 2023. The team's primary concern revolves around Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, who, according to Lebrun, might push for a percentage of the total salary cap instead of a fixed dollar amount. This could result in Marner's cap hit exceeding Matthews' $13.25 million, conflicting with the Leafs' new financial strategy. Ferris is known for driving negotiations to the limit, often taking his clients to free agency. This raises fears that discussions between Marner and the Leafs could drag on until July 1st, giving Marner and his camp all the leverage in negotiations. Another complicating factor is the rising market. Lebrun noted that Mikko Rantanen believes he could secure $14 million per season as a free agent. This sparks the question, could Marner demand even more? And would Ferris take that gamble, knowing the Leafs might opt to move on and sign another player? Marner has made it clear on multiple occasions that Toronto is where he wants to be. As a local player with deep ties to the city, he's expressed his desire to spend his entire career wearing the blue and white of the Leafs. However, staying with the team may require him to accept less than market value, especially if the front office remains committed to its new salary structure. Such a sacrifice could be vital for the team's collective success and to avoid financial issues that have plagued the recent past. While negotiations are still in the early stages, it's evident that Marner's future with the Leafs is at stake. Maple Leafs fans may need to prepare for the possibility of significant changes, but they can also trust in the players' commitment to the city and the franchise to find a compromise. The Maple Leafs' decision to implement an internal salary cap reflects a broader shift in their team-building philosophy. After years of prioritizing top-end talent with hefty contracts, the organization appears determined to strike a balance between superstar contracts and depth throughout the roster. This strategy aims to avoid the pitfalls of past seasons, where a lack of financial flexibility often left the team vulnerable in critical playoff moments. For Mitch Marner, this shift creates a unique challenge. On one hand, his value to the Leafs is undeniable. A consistent top scorer and elite playmaker, Marner has been instrumental in driving the team's offense. On the other hand, his ability to command a salary that rivals or exceeds Auston Matthews could put the Leafs in a difficult position, especially with a potential need to strengthen other areas of the roster. As the 2023-24 season progresses, the Leafs must weigh the potential consequences of sticking to their cap philosophy. Losing a homegrown talent like Marner would undoubtedly sting for fans and the organization alike. However, allowing one player to dictate financial terms beyond the team's structure could hinder long-term success and force painful sacrifices elsewhere. Adding to the complexity is the looming free agency of William Nylander. If the Leafs are to stick to their internal salary cap, they may also face challenges in retaining Nylander, who could command a significant raise. Balancing contracts for both Marner and Nylander within the new framework could prove to be the ultimate test for Toronto's management team. Another factor at play is the team's ultimate goal, winning the Stanley Cup. While star players like Marner and Matthews are crucial, history has shown that depth and balanced rosters often prevail in the postseason. If the Leafs fail to manage their finances effectively, they risk falling short of building a championship-caliber team, even with elite talent. For Marner, the decision to stay with the Leafs might come down to more than just dollars. His connection to the city, the fans, and his teammates could be deciding factors. If he prioritizes legacy and loyalty over maximizing earnings, there's a strong possibility that he'll work with the team to find a deal that benefits both parties. Negotiations will also test Darren Ferris, known for his hardline tactics in securing lucrative deals for his clients. While pushing for top dollar is expected, Ferris may need to weigh the risks of alienating the Leafs management and fanbase. A prolonged stalemate could damage Marner's relationship with the team and its supporters. The Leafs management, led by general manager Brad Treliving, faces a pivotal moment. Treliving's reputation as a negotiator and team builder will be on full display as he navigates this high-stakes scenario. Striking the right balance could solidify his tenure in Toronto, while a misstep might set the team back for years. For Maple Leafs fans, the coming months will be filled with anticipation and uncertainty.